Hey everyone, it's Kevin, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how to eat like an American and break bad eating habits that are keeping you fat. If you want to control what you eat and control your body, then hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. And don't forget to check out my free 7-day challenge, Stop Overeating in 7 days. I'll show you how to eat less, control what you eat. So if you're binge eating, overeating, or you want more control over what you eat, then click the link in the description box. And if you want to speak with me personally, there is also a link below. We Americans eat a lot. We're number one in obesity. And there are a lot of reasons why that's true, but it's not just what we eat. We eat a lot of processed food and a lot of fast food, but it's also how we eat. And I've always argued that how you eat is just as important as what you eat. I know that's somewhat controversial, but it's true. If you're eating everywhere you go and you're not paying attention and you're not mindful of what you're eating, and you just have a really sloppy diet, you're not going to get good results. You're not going to have the health or the body or the fitness that you want. So if you live in the United States, and chances are you do live in the United States as I do, then you need to watch this video because there are some bad habits that are really common and they're really pervasive and they're acceptable and you don't even realize it. Some of them are more obvious than others, but I'm going to point out some other habits that you need to break. The first one is drive-through. We have drive-through for everything. We have drive-through Carl's Jr., McDonald's, Burger King, Panda Express, Krispy Kreme. Think about it. If you're going to a Krispy Kreme to get a bunch of fried dough, it's just a big circle of sugar and fat. Can't you get out of your car and at least burn a couple of calories just to get the donuts? I mean, seriously, drive-through donuts, how lazy and indulgent can you get? But I've also seen drive-through Panda Express, at least in Texas, so you can get your big bowl of fried rice and Kung Pao chicken or orange chicken or whatever without even getting out of the car. We also have drive-through Starbucks, so you can get your venti latte or whatever without getting out of the car. We have drive-through Dunkin' Donuts, or now Dunkin', wherever. Now, in the last few years, we've seen the advent of services like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and these other services, Food Jets, where I am, that deliver all the food that you want straight to your door. We're all living like kings. In some ways, this convenience is good, keeps cars off the road, less pollution for the environment, and it's more convenient. You pay a price for that. But it is nice to have somebody come to your door and just deliver what it is that you want. You don't have to go anywhere. But this drive-through takeout culture is having a massive effect on our waistlines. When it's so easy to get that much food, you can expect people to get fatter. Listen, if you're going to go to fast food, at least get out of the car and walk into the restaurant. At least you can do that. Speaking of fast food and restaurants, another problem is portion sizes. Portion sizes have increased dramatically in the last 30 or 40 years. A typical fast food restaurant would serve you a little hamburger, a small bag of fries, and a little Coke. It's not like that anymore. Now we have the super size fries. Do they do that anymore? Maybe they cancel that, but still, it's still a massive box of fries. You have the double burger with guacamole or something. They're always coming out with these new flavors. You have cheese inside the crust. You have cheese on the crust. Taco Bell has these outrageous tacos. But the worst offenders are the chain restaurants like Applebee's and Outback, Cheesecake Factory, Maggiano's. These all have massive quantities of food on one plate. And the more that they serve you, the more that they eat, and the more money that they make. The human mind likes to consume whatever is served because we don't know, at least our brains don't know, where the next meal is coming from, because our brains are designed for scarcity, they're not designed for abundance. So when your brain sees food, it's thinking consume, 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 not stop, stop, stop. It's not thinking about, oh, portion sizes. Your brain doesn't think like that. So you really have to exert self-control, and you have to have high levels of awareness unless you want to eat the whole thing, and I really don't recommend that you do that. Some of these portions have insane amounts of oil, salt, and sugar. If you're going out to a restaurant, then you need to be super conscious of the portion sizes and that you're probably eating a lot more than you think, and there's probably a lot more oil in it than you think. For example, I went to Cheesecake Factory and I got the vegan Cobb salad because I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm not completely vegan, and it looked really healthy. It had quinoa and avocado and different vegetables. But I also suspected that it had a lot of oil. So I ate about half of it. And sure enough, when I looked it up online, it had 1,200 calories estimated. I wasn't surprised. When you use 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil and a whole avocado. That's a lot of fat. I mean, it's healthy fat, but still, that's still a lot. Just be conscious of what you're doing when you go to a restaurant. That's my point. Speaking of restaurants, we also have 24/7 restaurants. We have 24/7 Jack in the Box, 24/7 McDonald's, 24/7 drive-through at pretty much any fast food restaurant. We also have 24/7 grocery stores. There are at least 3 or 4 grocery stores near me that are open 24/7. I remember a few night binges back in the day, and I would go to the Walmart, you know, the supersized Walmart, and I would get whatever I wanted at 2 or 3 in the morning. It was the worst thing for me. At least before then, I had to wait until 6 in the morning to go get what I wanted. But then when they opened a 24/7 Walmart near me, man, that was like game over. It was the worst thing. Damn you, Walmart. I can't blame Walmart or the grocery stores or these restaurants. Denny's, of course, has always been open 24/7. So if you want a ton of pancakes and syrup and butter, you can get that any time of the day. I see now that Denny's has promoted unlimited pancakes. That's crazy. My point is the convenience and the availability of food at all hours of the day makes it really easy to overeat. And if you're a night eater, as some people are, and as I was for a long time, that is a huge curse. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, then that's another problem. And if you're having trouble night eating, that's a problem you really need to tackle. And speaking of grocery stores, the sheer number of grocery stores has increased. They opened a brand new grocery store right down the street. It's like a Whole Foods, but it's a little cheaper. And where I am, I think there are 10 grocery stores within a 10-minute drive. That's a lot of grocery stores. You have everything from the high-end grocery stores like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Then you have mid-level, then you have low-level, and then you have the foreign markets too. It's almost hard to count the number of grocery stores in a given area. The point is, it's really easy to get what you want, and if one store doesn't have what you want, then there's going to be another store that has it. Now, this really isn't a habit, but it's just an observation about the modern environment that we live in, that when we have all this food at all hours of the day and it's available all the time, then it's really easy to overeat it. What do you do about that? Limit the number of times you go to the grocery store. Limit your exposure. Limit your exposure to advertising. Don't buy things on end displays. You're there for a reason. Don't make impulsive purchases. Keep a list and stick to it. If you're eating at night all the time, really start by setting some boundaries. You're not going to eat between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. Just start there. At least go 8 hours without screwing it up. By the time you go to bed, you should be satiated. If you're not satiated, ask yourself why. Are you skipping meals? Are you not getting enough nutrition during the day? Are you skipping dinner? What's going on there? And really challenge yourself to wait a few extra hours after waking up before you start eating. It's kind of a form of intermittent fasting, but I think most people, regardless of the amount of willpower that you have, can go 12 hours without eating. But start with 8, go to 10, then 12. Work yourself up to 16 or 18 if you want to. But you really should be able to go 12 hours without eating anything. Another bad habit is buying food at vending machines. We're not like Japan where you can buy miso in a vending machine. The vending machines here in the United States, it's all snack food. It's chips, it's cookies, it's crackers, it's, you know, Belvita cookies or whatever. A lot of soda, not a lot of healthy stuff in there, just a lot of processed carbs and a lot of bad fats. Here's another boundary you can set. Don't buy anything in a vending machine. If you're buying something in a vending machine, it indicates that you're just not planning ahead and you really don't care about your health. There's nothing good in a vending machine. Unless you can find a vending machine that's selling fresh produce and freshly prepared meals, and maybe those are coming soon. I hope to see those soon. I know they have them in Japan and some parts of Asia, but we're not that sophisticated here yet in the United States. We like to have our snack food in a vending machine. But just like eating at night, don't buy anything in a vending machine. There are so many other places to get better options. You don't need to go there. Eating is never so urgent that you need to stop at a vending machine. Trust me, it's not worth it. Just wait until you can go to a store. You don't need to eat anything right now. Unless you're going into diabetic coma and you absolutely need a spike in your blood sugar, you don't need to stop at a vending machine. You find a lot of vending machines in offices. And now let's talk about the office. When you host a meeting, it's almost expected that you're going to provide donuts and coffee or bagels and coffee with cream cheese. Everybody expects to be fed at every little function. I find this so obnoxious. We don't need to do this. Can we not get through a 1-hour meeting without some sort of treat or some dessert? I think we can, and as Americans, we need to start setting this boundary again. This is one thing I think they do better in Europe. They don't eat in meetings, they eat at set times and set places. Like there are boundaries, right? You eat here at this time. Whereas here in the United States, you eat in meetings, you eat in offices. It's kind of like smoking back in the day. You could just light up and smoke. So, but when we stopped smoking, we still had this craving. We still had this oral fixation, I guess. So we introduced donuts and bagels into every little meeting. We don't need to do this anymore. Trust me, you will survive a meeting without a bagel. Eat before, eat after, just not in the meeting. And if they do bring bagels and donuts to the meeting, don't eat it. It's okay. You don't have to take it. Or take one at the end of the meeting and take it back to your office or whatever. Bottom line, don't eat at meetings. Closely related to this is eating on the go. You do not need to be eating a burger while you're walking down the street. This used to be really uncustomary just a few decades ago, even like 20 years ago. Now it's perfectly okay to be walking around with a bag of food and eating it while you go. It's kind of disgusting in a way. Nobody wants to be watching you walking and eating a big sandwich. Are you really so busy that you can't sit down for a couple of minutes and eat your sandwich? Please stop it. The next habit is eating while you drive. This is another common habit. Just look at the person next to you when you're at a stop sign. Chances are they're probably drinking or eating something. The new minivans that they're making have 14 or 15 cup holders because people love to have drinks while they drive. I mean, not like alcoholic, I hope not. But it's really common to buy your fast food and then eat it on the go. When you eat on the go and you're distracted, you're not getting those signals to stop. You're not feeling satiated, and I think this is one reason people feel compelled to eat, and eat, because their brains never get the signal to stop. Here's another boundary for you. Don't eat while you drive. Just like you shouldn't drink while you drive. I mean, water, I guess, is okay, but just keep the food in the back where you can't reach it. Trust me, you'll get to your destination on time, safely, and well fed without eating something on the way. Another habit, and this isn't a habit, but another observation, it's the excessive advertising. I just mentioned this earlier in the video, but when you expose yourself to more ads and more food and more promotions and more end displays, you tend to eat more. Otherwise, they wouldn't be advertising so much. If you watch a football game, there's a couple big games on tomorrow. If you watch sporting events like football games, there's a couple big games tomorrow. Almost all of the ads are for food. It's like Domino's and then Taco Bell and McDonald's and then Pepsi and whatever it is. They're always telling you to eat, and eat. Maybe this is one more reason why you shouldn't watch television, because when you're watching television, you're not doing anything. And then you expose yourself to more ads, which compels you to eat even more. And then you get on your phone and you order something like DoorDash, and they come to your door and they deliver what you just saw in the advertisement. Do you see how everything is related here? Less work, more food, more cues to eat. It all goes back to convenience. I'm American. I love convenience. I get it. I like apps that deliver things. I like paying for things before I go. I don't like to wait. If I can save time, I like to do that. I think that's why so many of these apps like Uber, Lyft, and the food delivery services, I think that's why they originate in this country, because that's what we really like. We like things to be convenient. We like to have big appliances. We like labor-saving devices. We are like the hub for that kind of technology. But convenience comes at a cost. A lot of times when we value convenience, we sacrifice nutrition, we sacrifice quality, and we also sacrifice our health on the way. So it is kind of a fine balance. I'm not saying you should completely sacrifice convenience and you shouldn't do anything out of convenience. Just understand there is that temptation to do less work and to consume more and to consume less quality food when you value convenience. And the last habit, and I always save the best for last, is dieting. Dieting needs to die. It's very unhealthy. I've made videos about this before. It screws up your brain. It screws up your hunger mechanism. It screws up your appetite. It's really taxing on your mental health. If you're thinking about going on a diet, I advise you not to. What I think you should focus on is the habits in this video and focus on other habits that are keeping you fat and unhealthy. Trust me, when you focus on the habits and you focus on your own behavior, the weight will take care of itself. Your body will start to look better. Your health will improve. Don't diet. I've been there. I've done that. Millions of other people have wrecked their health doing it. It's a very common behavior and it's a acceptable behavior, but it shouldn't be. Dieting should be stigmatized, but it's not, and that's one of the goals of this channel, is to discourage people from dieting. I hope you found this video educational and entertaining. If you did, then you'll probably enjoy some of these other videos. And before you leave, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video, and I'll see you on the next one.